10. The Ant Mill. The truth is, no one can truly bend fate.
La cabaña con el techo azul estaba silenciosa como siempre. En un sueño fugaz, la investigadora de paracausalidad descubrió la verdad detrás del dado de Babilonia. Examinó cuidadosamente los patrones ocultos, como un astuto astrólogo rastrea los movimientos de las estrellas. Lo que pueda parecer errores o accidentes no niega las verdades del destino. Por el contrario, afirman su existencia. Solo pregúntale al gran Heráclito. En un universo no observado, el dado de Babilonia gira perpetuamente, dictando el destino de todos en un tiempo que es tanto infinitamente largo como infinitamente corto. Mira, cerró los ojos. Respetaba la aleatoriedad de los números y el destino. Respetaba el juicio del dado. De lo contrario, se habría perdido sumisamente en los huecos del tiempo y bajaría para siempre como un fantasma en el olvido.
In the southern prison hall, under the half light of the next day, the prisoners of Kamala gather. In the solemn prison hall, under the half light of the next day, the prisoners of Kamala gather. Octavia steps onto the podium with a stern expression.
First, allow me to make one thing clear. I had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to the idealist yesterday. I swear it on my career as a writer. As you all know, the idealist and I are the representatives of the two factions of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Américas. As you also know, we have been at peace since the Let Sleeping Dogs Lie agreement was signed a few months ago. Despite our differing views, we have coexisted to this day under the watchful gaze of the Central Tower. Rest assured that we will work tirelessly to locate the missing idealist.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself, Miss Octavia. His death wasn't your fault. After all, he was the one who threw the first verbal dagger.
The murmurs ascending below reaches the ear of the prisoners from another factor.
Show some respect, you morons. The idealist is missing, not dead. I'm sure he's dropping one piece before we know it.
Better face the hard truth now, Roberta. Though, I have to say, it won't be easy for you to find a no leader as mad as him.
A polite cough from the hostess pauses the heated debate.
Please, everyone, quiet down. According to the agreement, today's Congress should have been chaired by the idealist. Since he is still missing, I will be acting on his...
Pardon my lateness. Go ahead. I'm ready to moderate.
Is that a jailer? Unfamiliar footsteps break the regular patterns of events. The jailer leads her visitors to the entrance of the prison hall.
Miss Worth, I looked over the incarceration and visitor records from the past 6 months. There was no mention of anyone named Doris.
Then it seems only the physician knows the whereabouts of Dr. Torres. Miss Jailer, we need to meet with the physician. It's important.
Listen, you really shouldn't take the inmates' ramblings too seriously.
Considering the identity of the person before her, the jailer softened her tone.
But if it's as critical as you say, I'll make another request later. That said, I'm afraid the meeting won't happen for at least a few days.
Understood.
For now, please join us for today's Congress.
literary salons like this every day? This place is practically a writer's paradise. So, you're the host of the salon, Octavia? I say we set aside our differences and have a titillating literary discussion.
You've come at the right time. You may serve as witnesses for the Congress alongside the jailer, like a citizen's jury in a court.
Your suggestion aligns with the congressional rules. Very well.
Congress? Witnesses? Isn't this a salon? Which topic are we discussing? Literary theories? Schools? Principles? Languages? Oh, narrative perspectives?
None of those.
Octavia lowers her head, giving her questioner a long and deep look.
This Congress is about the randomness of fate, Miss Recoleta.
Randomness of fate?
As he sinks into confusion and bewilderment, the jailer's voice raises into a triumphant introduction.
Dear visitors from the Foundation, allow me to introduce the Kamala Congress. What happened yesterday was merely a brief anomaly. In the Panopticon, spontaneous order among the inmates is the norm, and the Kamala Congress serves as its truest reflection.
Spontaneous order?
Yes. Through the Congress, the inmates assign and distribute medication, communal duties, and rest periods. They are entirely self-regulated.
Her tone was filled with pride.
I hereby announce the commencement of the 7th Kamala Congress.
As her words fall, Octavia takes a worn lottery box and a small trinket from her hand. The prisoner moves in perfect order like a swarm of ants. Is somebody going in the box or something? Because I see a dice and then I see a cube with a hole on it.
A cardboard box, and is that a paper die? It has 20 sides.
We carefully examine hidden patterns, much like an astute astrologer tracks the movements of the stars.
Isn't this...
Is this still part of our book? From somewhere in the audience, a girl consciously murmurs a revelation.
Isn't this just like the Die of Babylon? The MacGuffin that weaves through the entire plot? The infinite symbiote of fate? And the symbol that compresses time into a shriveled circle?
What may seem like errors or accidents doesn't negate the verities of destiny. On the contrary, they affirm its very existence. Just ask the great Heraclito. In an unobserved universe, the die spins in perpetuity.
Dictating the fate of all in time that is both infinitely long and infinitely short?
Look, I've closed my eyes. I respect the randomness of numbers and destiny. I respect the guy's judgment.
As the prisoner recites the announcement, the author's voice becomes more and more sluggish.
Otherwise, we will acquiesce and lose ourselves in the gaps of time and wander forever as ghosts in oblivion.
So somebody's copying her book.
I don't understand what's going on. Oh, but the irony that I probably have more idea what's going on than anyone here.
Miss Recoleta, this is all in your novel, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. The recitations, the references to an astrologer and Heraclito, they couldn't possibly be just a coincidence. Then, could it be? Will they look to the die to dictate their fate?
The girl always shocks does not affect the proceedings on stage. The Congress continues.
I shall
20? The hostess tosses the 20-sided die into the cardboard box and begins shaking it rhythmically.
The result is 5. This check complies with the prerequisite conditions of the ruling of the die, and the standard roll order has been established. Inmate Jose, please come forth. You are the first in the initiative order. Therefore, fate's judgment shall fall upon you before all else.
Me? Okay.
The prisoner steps forward, taking the fragile box in his hand, shaking it to roll the die of assert faith inside. The die stops, and just like that, a simple number decides his fate.
17! It's 17! Ah, what a wonderful number! 17! Like an oasis in an endless desert.
The result is 17, and the score combination 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3.
What?
According to the ruling of the die, he shall receive 60 risperidone tablets, 40 clozapine tablets, and 40
Wait, how often do they get these medications?
Additionally, he will assume the role of cultural manager of the Comala Congress. Before he takes office, inmate Jose must clean the first restroom for the next 7 days.
Wonderful! I'll gladly clean the toilet. I've got the brooms here, the toilet detergent, oh, and the toilet brush too. I have been waiting for this opportunity. As cultural manager, I will speak with every inmate and complete the Comala Memorial, finally capturing the moments when literary sparks ignite and explode.
Who's the next roller?
Next is inmate Eduardo. Please come forth.
The man in question is a nervous mess. His gaze flicker, his eyebrow fights for space on his forehead, and his teeth clashes against each other in turmoil.
But I can't remember the ruling of the die. I can't remember anything. Damn it. Sorry, Senora Octavia, but I don't think I can do this. I didn't get any medication in the last Congress. I've had multiple episodes. It's like my brain's jammed or something.
It's all right, inmate Eduardo. It's easy. You don't need to know the rules to roll the die. Give me your hand. I'll help you.
The prisoner follows suit, hands trembling as he shakes the box, the only thing he can do.
My sincerest apologies, inmate Eduardo. The die dictates that you must voluntarily descend into the sewers and write the thematic keyword that currently causes you the most anxiety on the walls.
I thank you very much, Miss Octavia. I think my head's about to split in half. I need a moment to rest before I head down there and fulfill my destiny.
Clutching his head, the prisoner leaves. His steps heavy, his hands empty, but his brow finally falling at ease.
Are you really letting them make every decision with the roll of a die? Eduardo is clearly in a much more dire condition than Jose. The medication should have been given to him.
As I said, this is how the inmates of the Panopticon maintain order. The physician periodically provides medication, food, and other necessities, and the inmates distribute them in this spontaneous and efficient manner. Neither authority nor violence is involved in this process. This is what sets Comala apart from all other custodial facilities.
Is that it? You abdicate all agency to the roll of a paper die and call it the randomness of fate? What kind of sick joke is this?
Please calm down, Recoleta. This is the method that the inmates have collectively decided to recognize. They're prepared to face the possible sacrifices that it brings. This isn't about you or me. It's not our place to interfere with a procedure that has been proven both pragmatic and effective. My duty is to assist the inmates in maintaining order through the methods that they have established. And yours is to witness their self-governance, not judge it.
The jailer takes a deep breath. Her words clearly meant to convince herself as much as anyone listening.
If everything somehow unfolds as it does in my novel, then every role was already predetermined. Burton, do you remember the story I told you last night? The odds of both success and failure were consecutively multiplied. I remember. As soon as a character experiences a failure, they continue to suffer failures in an endless chain reaction. None of Eduardo's future dice rolls will ever result in a number higher than 10. At this rate, this system, this sociedad, ruled by the dice of Babylon, is bound to collapse.
She looks around, realizing that her words, weighing as they seemed to her, had garnered no attention.
Eduardo will never receive any medication. The moment he writes the keyword on the wall could very well be the moment he spells out his own death. No, I can't let this happen. I have to do something.
Ricola rushes to the stage.
Wait, Miss Recoleta, what are you doing?
Treatment entry 303. The transformation of quantity into quality is the greatest realization of the method of exhaustion. December 1st, number 704-3733. Each person is unified allocated 1 dose of chloropromatic and 1 dose of dilebdomen. December 3rd, number 704-710, 712-730, 732-733. Each person is unified allocated 3 doses of chloropromatic and 3 doses of Dalmendo. And December 3rd, number 706-708, 712-717, 722-730, 732. Each person is uniformly allocated 6 doses of chloroprosmatic and 11 doses of veronin. Okay.
Few soldiers would appreciate the idea of taking orders from an accursed die. A skilled commander would never rely on luck to make decisions. On the battlefield, the distance for every maneuver should be clear and precise, not 2 numbers with a D in the middle, unless you're looking to invite a mutiny. That said, if a die with such power were placed in a soldier's hand, I'm pretty sure they'd roll it and let it decide their destiny.
Luck will almost be on your side.
There's no good luck without bad luck. Just as a coin must have 2 sides, luck essentially defines one's entire life.
See, luck won't always be on your side.
And whether it's make or break, life or death, the die will keep on rolling. Of course, dice aren't the only tools used to play with fate. Coins, lotteries, even shells on the beach can all serve the same purpose. Thanks to the randomness of fate, a Babylonian may rise to be a proconsul one day and fall into slavery the next.
Some tragedies could have been avoided.
Well, that's where historians come in. With a little creative editing of the history history books, even the random rolls of a die can suddenly make sense. What were once avoidable tragedies are rebranded as reasonable incidents or even desirable outcomes.
At least the roll of die isn't partial.
You're starting to sound like a gambler. But even gamblers, after hitting a hot streak or a losing spell, start to convince themselves that they've figured out the grand pattern behind games of chance. It isn't just gamblers either. Witches tried to influence fate through rituals and charms. Ancient mathematicians calculated probabilities on paper. Some even wrote books on game theory. Meanwhile, others suspected there were cheaters among them. I just hope these high rollers unite to confront the demon who holds the laws of the universe, past, present, and future, in its claws, and give it a well done and a slap in the face.
You're talking in circles today.
Haven't I always? It's just that today, the die rolled a peculiar number. But all things considered, I prefer the other kind of commander. The die is cast, but regardless of what number has been rolled, it's time to cross the river.
So 11, Soothsayer, Worldmaker. The goddess delight in toying with the piety of her believers. On the stage, Octavia remains the picture of serenity as she orchestrates the Congress.
Miss Recoleta, as a witness to the Congress, you have the right to express your doubts calmly.
Listen, you...
She recalls the complaints of her two former companions, the jailer's dismissal, and the confused expression of every editor she has ever faced. If she were to lay out every detail of her novel here and now, she will only get the same response.
No, it's nothing. It's just that I'd like to participate in the dice rolling ceremony. May I?
Of course. The very fact that you're standing here in the Panopticon proves that you share a common fate with it.
Ricola serves the prisoners waiting to cast their die. The expressions are sincere, untroubled, calmly awaiting their fate. Joy and misfortune of those before them do not affect the long, winding queue in the slightest. She takes a deep breath.
It doesn't matter when I roll the die, since the rolls are simply a reflection of the randomness of fate, right?
Precisely.
Then I'd like to perform my role after the 27th inmate. Is that alright?
As you wish, Miss Recoleta.
I wonder what the 28th roll is going to be.
Let us have a fair fight.
A small game that examines the luck. Roll dice every round. Different numbers cause different effects. So let's see, what are her moves? I guess this one, this one, and then we'll do, no, let's do her first.
Cosmología, filosofía, class nuestro adversario es el tiempo.
Please stay behind me. Oh, please. I know a simple arcane trick. Hold on. Psychiatrist at work. I will be watching you. You won't get away. 是从想的，Please 强梁继出，网友误会。
Do I have to do this? Más allá del concepto en todos los momentos. Please stay behind me. Huh, a truly villainous moment. Nuestro adversario es el tiempo.
Be careful. My responsibility.
Let's see what her ultimate looks like.
Camino a ti en todos los momentos.
Oh please, I know how to use it.
En la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más.
You won't get away.
Idealismo, duelos de fantasía, patrones ocultos.
Case closed. I'll be sure to write a report and put it on your table. It seems fate favors you, Miss Recoleta. Here are your supplies.
What did she roll?
Follow the distribution rules of the Congress. This is an essential structure of Comala, and a belief shared by all its inmates. Honor it.
Just as I suspected. These supplies belong to me now, Octavia. I'm free to use them however I please.
Is it going to Eduardo? Nicholas strides to Eduardo, who is curled up in a distant corner, clutching his head as his bottle trembles in silence.
Here, Eduardo. Take them.
But I haven't fulfilled my destiny yet. These precious tablets and capsules, I can't accept them. They are gifts from fate. The die has placed them in your palm.
But I don't need them. You do.
Thank you, kind señorita.
The prisoner's trembling stops. He blankly pinches his arm as if trying to distinguish reality from dream. Then all of a sudden, he snatches the medication from her hands and shoves it into his mouth.
Eduardo, what's wrong? Are you taking the medicine right now? There's no need to rush. There's plenty of it. You can have it all.
Por Dios, Eduardo! How could you squander fate's gifts like this? Kind señorita, please, give me the medication. I need it more than anyone else.
No, I'm the one who needs the
Aw, she's gonna get in trouble for that.
I beg of you.
Too many beggars.
With the protection of these amulets, I might finally be able to get a peaceful night's sleep. No more trembling floors and wailing ghosts.
The prisoner shoves and struggles, countless hands reaching towards the hapless writer, trying to snatch the small, round pill of salvation.
Enough! Enough!
The blue glow spreads through the room, forcing the prisoners to clutch their heads and fall down to their knees. The riot comes to an abrupt halt.
You shouldn't have done that, Miss Recoleta. Your ignorant generosity could shatter the very basis of our survival.
She steps towards Aguado, now radiating in pain, and picks up a few stray capsules shattered in his feet. The pill dissolves into a stream of voided sand, vanishing as it pours through her fingers.
We have never had such chaos at the Congress. Understand this. We rely only on the randomness of fate to distribute supplies and assign responsibilities. If you disrupt the status quo, the entire system of the Panopticon will collapse beyond repair. It is only by respecting the arbitrariness of fate and adhering to the rules of the Die of Babylon that we have kept this place functioning all this time.
Babylon. Tell me, how did you know this name? Are you the one orchestrating this whole thing?
Equally confused and furious, grabs the hostess collar.
¿Podría ser? ¿Eres Aleph? Tal como sospechaba Verdun?
Let go of me, Miss Recoleta. Have you gone mad? The roll of the die is absolutely random. I am not orchestrating anything. Before the Congress began, I made an oath. I intend to keep it.
Please, calm down, Miss Recoleta. I think she's telling the truth.
She lets go of her grip as the reality of the situation dawns on her.
Sorry, Octavia, but please, you have to tell me how you learned about the Die of Babylon. I must know. Only my pen pal and I should have any knowledge about this die.
I heard about it from the physician. He described it as a symbol of collective consciousness that we could harness to maintain immaculate order in the Panopticon. The Comala Congress was coined, iterated, and perfected by the physician based on this concept.
The physician again. Everything eventually leads back to him. Just as we suspected. I see.
Recoleta casts her eyes over to the silent jaguar, who has remained wordless from beginning to end, watching it all unfold.
Jailer, we have to meet with the physician in person. Now.
As I've told you many times, Dr. Merlin is too busy at the moment. I couldn't possibly trouble him over a novel and a pen pal. They are just fantasies.
Couldn't you make an exception? What if they're not just fantasies? What if they're tied to the very survival of this place? Miss Recoleta said the Panopticon could collapse because of the Die of Babylon.
Are you seriously telling me you believe that nonsense?
It wasn't nonsense, nor are they fantasies. You saw with your own eyes how I won the die roll.
It was just a coincidence.
The jailer's words are at odds with the subtle motion of her eyes and face. The Foundation of Investigators seized on the prime opportunity to apply pressure.
What if we present you with stronger evidence to prove it's more than just a coincidence? If everything in the Panopticon proceeds according to Miss Recoleta's novel as she says, she should be able to predict what happens next, including the roll results of the absolutely random die. That's right. The Die of Babylon isn't random at all. It's nothing but a supercilious fraud veiled under the guise of fate, and an actor of the inescapable loop of history. And not one of you is paying attention to me whatsoever. To hell with this era of ignoring unknown writers. Miss Recoleta, please make your prediction for the next inmate's die roll. This way, you can prove to Miss Jailer the irrefutable connection between Kamala and your novel, The Rise and Fall of Sanity. You finally remembered its name! Oh, what sweet balm to my spirit! Miss Octavia, please continue the Congress and let the next inmates perform their role. Then Miss Recoleta's statement will be proven true.
The hostess of the Congress remained non-commitment.
I appreciate the reminder. No matter the interruption, the Comala Congress must go on. Though not for Miss Recoleta's sake, of course. Next inmate, please.
Following the die's designated order, the next prisoner steps forward to roll.
Hello, inmate Garcia. You know what to do.
Of course.
La sexta cara. Un pilar roto. El flujo de la fortuna y la calamidad. So the result of the next roll will be a 6.
The product position plunges the hall of new encounters in breathless silence.
As fate reveals, the number is 6.
Just as Miss Recoleta predicted.
could still be a coincidence. Do it again.
La 13ª cara. Una cadencia desconcertante, sin un verdadero principio ni fin. La 4ª cara. Un hombre que se ahogaba usó el último de sus fuerzas para nadar a la seguridad, solo para descubrir que había confundido un espejo con la superficie del agua. La 17ª cara.
Oh, she's guessing all those rules. I mean, what was she writing in her book?
Y la inquietante quietud revelaron cruelmente que era un espejismo. La 6ª cara. Otro pilar roto con grietas idénticas a la última. Confirmó la hipótesis de la investigadora de paracausalidad. Este lugar solía ser un edificio circular. Is that enough? I've almost finished the entire chapter.
It's not possible.
One coincidence after another begins to stir up to an uproar. The coincidences appear endless.
Who are you?
I'm sorry if this comes as a shock to you, but I did warn you, Octavia. Well, it's proven. The Die of Babylon is anything but the so-called randomness of fate.
Have you been sent here by some god? Or are you a hobby prophet? Have you brought this knowledge to save us? Or to shatter our beliefs? Our world?
The question destined never to need an answer. She let her eyes fall into a cardboard box and onto the 12th side die. The recluse of the nature becomes a sturdy nature.
Thing in my hand. What are we? What is this prison?
I don't know if it's some kind of sorcery or arcane skill, but it's unfathomable. I'll take you to the physician. Not because of your earlier request, but because the situation has escalated beyond my means. The overseer of the Panopticon will decide how to handle your situation.
To be honest, Miss Recolata, I wasn't sure you'd be able to correctly predict everything.
Timekeeper, are you saying that you risked everything on a hunch?
It worked, didn't it?
Come with me. Dr. Merlin's office is in the central tower.
For her part, the now vindictive writer falls at the end of the line, letting her mind race like a bullet train.
En esta versión de mi novela, todos en el pueblo mueren a causa del dado de Babilonia. Porque solo la muerte puede cerrar el ciclo de la historia. Y carcelero, eres el empleado del banco, ¿verdad? Entonces, al final, también sufrirás un colapso como el empleado del banco, cuando se da cuenta de que él y el pescador de runas son la misma persona. If all of this is tied to the rise and fall of sanity, then, as its creator, I will get to the bottom of this.
To be continued. Yeah, how does her story end? The Weaving of Shadows, Volume 5. The boundary shatters and a strong ideology glimpses a unspeakable truth. After that, I attended several more literary salons and wrote things I never dared write before. Miss Octavia, however, never made an appearance. I didn't see her for quite some time. That was until I followed some prisoners to the large hall and heard her voice among a group of unfamiliar inmates. She noticed me and greeted me warmly. She told me she's been working on some new initiatives. She told me of her hopes to gather more supplies to improve conditions in the prison and initiate a spiritual shift towards realism and resistance. I truly believed back then that everything was heading to the right direction. Before our eyes, the host of the assembly, the idealist, steps up to the podium. By the remnants of fate, we have gathered here to participate in the Camella Congress. Before the eyes of destiny, historians and astrologers alike, I now declare a new rule amendment. A duel before a crowd of eager eyes, the winner awards 10 pounds of gold, and the loser left with 10 flies to send upon them. Wait, that's her part of her story. Before the Camella Congress conveys, we shall assign 2 members of La Social this noble mission, a due decree by fate. Doris hears the faint clank of the small object rattling inside the box. Jose, Julio, step forward and draw the sharpest blade of your literary thoughts. According to the rules, I will preside over the duel with fairness and impartiality. Now, prepare yourself. The third fictional metaphysical duel ends with a fraction of a second. The victorious prisoner receives 10 shining gold pills, while the loser collapses to the floor. The crowd erupts in chaos. Octavia rising above the noise. Mr. Julio, he's having another seizure.
Miss Ern, please, Julio needs your help.
Octavia, you know this is all part of the randomness of fate. The randomness of fate. She doesn't argue back as she usually would. Instead, she stands frozen in place, as if stunned. What's the matter, Miss Octavia? This is an emergency. I require your assistance. Answer me, Octavia. Why are you trying to change Julio's fate? Because no one should die like this.
I don't want him to die.
Please, Miss Octavia, help me so I can help him.
Her voice cracks, leaving only the sound of her stifled sobs lingering in the air. What's wrong, Miss Octavia? How's his condition now? Miss Octavia? She remains silent. After a long pause, she casts a heavy stone into the bottomless water. Miss
Mr. Julio is gone. He left us the moment the duel was over.
How could that be? Seizures can potentially lead to irreversible brain damage, but how could it happen so fast? A precious life gone so quickly, swept away by something so senseless, lost in the non-sensual duel. What exactly is the so-called Congress? Some kind of pugilist system unique to Camella Prison? But how can someone's life be decided by something so absurd? Are we simply meant to surrender to the fate so twisted, no matter how absurd it is? Is it so unrefutable? This isn't the fate I seek. It's a distortion of it. It's my fault for not finding a better way. I used to think Mr. Julio didn't care about anything but his own novel. I never imagined my idea would mean anything to him. But he was the first person in La Sociedad to support me. But that really was a irreversible fate. A fate granted by Mr. Julio by the die of Babylon. The die of Babylon? Her question is left unanswered. The host of the salon goes on. Julio has stepped off the endless staircase and reached the silent water. He has become a calm water, dissolved in his own pond. Let us offer our blessing, our silence, our farewell to this martyr of fate. And let us imagine that Julio's literature career was a happy one. The halls remain deadly silent. No applause, no response.
A life is taken, and that's all you have to say?
You really don't care whether we live or die, do you, idealists? Of all of you, don't you have Don't any of you have anything to say? Why are you all so standing? Wait, why are you all just standing there? If we haven't kept rejecting the physician's treatment, maybe Mr. Julio wouldn't have. Rejecting? How ridiculous! You have no clue what that demon in human skin is capable of. How he reached into your mind and molded it like clay, reshaping it until it becomes your prison. In the realm of fiction, fate, unreality, the dissolution of the ego is inevitable and reversible. Therefore, we must not resist the ending dealt to us by the die of Babylon. Do you even know what you're talking about? I've never truly understood you, idealists. I will find a better way. I will rewrite this tragic tale. If you disagree, then leave La Sociedad. I will not have my great poem disrupted by any offbeat syllabus. Besides, your tremendous talk of social responsibility should have been purged long ago. Modern Latin America belongs to visceral racism, and you are too ignorant to even attempt to seek it out.
What a ridiculous, laughable man you are.
Yes, I see it clearly now. It's your tyranny that has driven everyone to ruins. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not leaving. I will establish a new literary movement right here in Comela, right here in the Sociedad de Portrait de la America. And we will use the literature to rescue the inmates who suffer all around us.
I've had enough of your condescending stone-herd ego and your pompous sophistry. He'll only bring misfortune upon us with his constant rambling about that visceral realism.
I hope I never see you again. Miss we have to get you out of here. Another second around, this maniac might just doom us all.
Only the physician, the true overseer of this prison, can save us from this situation. Please join our society, Miss Torres.
Help us build a new renewed Sociedad de Portrait together. I already spoken with the jailer. As long as we follow the rules and help them manage Camilla, we'll be free to discuss his literature.
Forgive me, Miss Octavia. While I truly appreciate your kind offer, I'm afraid my conversation with the physician must remain private.
Why?
Please answer me just one question first. From what you seem, you say this prison is circular in shape, yes?
Yes.
Then tell me, at the center of the structure, is there a watchtower? What? Impossible! You guessed it exactly. And our destination is somewhere inside the watchtower. What do you know?
I've had such a lovely time here. So much so that I almost forgot what I came for.
Which is precisely why I must put an end to this cruel farce masquerading as fate. Do you intend to rebel against the Watchtower's gaze, like the idealists? You misunderstand me, Miss Octavia.
That inescapable gaze, and the permanent theme of fate.
To get closer to the truth I seek, I have no choice but to meet the administrator that young lady spoke of.
You've decided to save the people here with your own hands, in your own way, and so have I. There are things I must face alone.
Though she is well used to death, the pain of Julio's passing still lingers in her heart, causing her to say these words that don't quite feel like herself.
I see. Lend me your palm. I'll draw you the wedding office. Good luck to you. And to all of us.
Farewell, Miss Octavia. I truly hope all goes well for you in the days ahead.
As Octavia retreats, slowly fading into the distance, she quietly adds,
And in your journey, finding answers about fate, too.
Alright, so stage 12. Behind the operating curtains. What disturbs this era? What unravels time? The shadow lurking in the ruins answers madness. Wait. An otherwise tidy room is covered in fine scratches and small unidentified stains. The smell of disinfectant lingers in the air, mixed with mildew.
Wait here a moment. I'll report the situation and your request to Dr. Merrill. However, since he's always busy, I can't guarantee he'll agree to meet. But I'll do my best to persuade him.
The jaguar figure slips out through the inner door.
Now's our chance, Sonetto. Our chance? What do you mean, Timekeeper? It's unlikely that the jailer will let us search the central tower, even in this situation. We should take the initiative and look for clues while she's away. I see, Timekeeper. I will do my best.
Sonetto swiftly conducts a thorough, unauthorized search.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Recoleta. Without your precise predictions, we wouldn't be standing here now. I haven't yet grasped the connection between the die, your novel, and what's happening in this place. But by process of elimination, it's almost certain that your pen pal, Aleph, is right behind this school.
Sometimes I envy your decisiveness, Vertin. I'm sure many people have praised this special talent of yours.
Are you alright? You don't seem as excited as when we first entered Kamala.
Raquella holds her gaze on the tightly shut door, uncertain whether she hopes it will open now or ever again.
The all-seeing sentinel of the Panopticon, veiled within the central tower. If it truly is Aleph, I don't know how to face such terrifying and increasingly plausible reality.
Sorry to interrupt, but Timekeeper, I think you'll want to see these. Sign Erd. This is a letter from Dr. Doras.
Delicate signature matches the one in the manuscript folder.
Her handwriting, it's as beautiful as I'd imagined. Who is it addressed to? Dear Mr. Aleph. Aleph?
Looks like Doras and Aleph are acquaintances. Or at least, they've had some correspondence. Dear Mr. Aleph, my apologies if this reaches you at an inconvenient time. I am Doras, pen name Erd, an ordinary inmate of the Panopticon of Kamala. I write seeking your guidance, if you wouldn't mind offering it to me. I heard from the physician, Dr. Merlin, that
you have the answer to every question. A statement which has been echoed by the idealist and the other inmates. I have something I wish to ask you. What exactly is your role at the prison? Chief Warden? A secret backer? An observer who dominates the prison? Are you truly the supreme ruler of the Panopticon of Kamala?
Dear Erd, I do indeed have answers for every question, including yours. I'm afraid every one of your speculations is off the mark. I am merely an inmate who chose to imprison himself here. And allow me to point out that your identity isn't as ordinary as you claim. Why is it that you, my fellow inmate and guest of Manus Vindictae, are so interested in Kamala?
Dr. Doras, a guest of Manus Vindictae.
A muffled shatter of glass interrupts their reading.
It came from inside the room. Do you think they're okay?
The jailer and the physician.
door defies any attempt of an answer, sealing all the events from
I'm
view.
not sure, but it could be bad. Come on, let's go in and see if they're all right.
The unlocked door leads to another room, more decrepit and obsolete than the last. A cold operating table lies in the center, surrounded by scattered bottles and medical instructions
You've stumbled upon the
and
physician's...
instruments.
The physician's office. I should have known. But is this an operating room? As if this prison wasn't bizarre enough already.
Inside the narrow operating room, the Jaguar reacts battery to their intrusion.
Didn't I tell you to wait outside? What do you think you're doing barging in like this?
We were just worried about your safety, jailer.
Enough. Get out of...
Quiet. The reptilian complex governs all our fundamental functions. Our heartbeat, breathing, fight or flight responses, and our territory and hierarchy awareness. Our primitive ancestors, like reptiles and birds, followed such instincts to survive. Through millions of years of evolution, we developed the limbic system. This processes emotions, informs memories. It allows us to feel fear, sadness, anger, joy. Our behaviors are given meaning. Now it's the neocortex that makes up more than 2/3 of our total brain volume. Language, perception, logical reasoning, abstract thought. This is what forms the complexity of human nature. We read, create, perceive. We try to understand both the world and ourselves. We are forever setting goals, one after another. And all this, these multitudes, happens within the confines of the skull, in the tight folds of the crowded...
Dude, who's on the table?
Is he performing surgery?
Such a delicate and elaborate organ. Were it unable to forget, what would come of it? Can this space, no larger than the palm of my hand, truly accommodate dozens of people at once?
At last, the physician sets down his operating scissors and needles, signaling the end of the surgery. Yet, at the same time, the old machine issues an alarm, signaling that the patient's vital signs are wavering.
What's happened to the patient? It looks like he's dying.
An anxiety raises as the question goes unanswered. On the screen, the last waveform disappears, leaving only a constant flat tone.
¿Fracasó la cirugía?
Nonsense. The surgery was a tremendous success. I have erased his debilitating hysteria and restored order to the panopticon. What are you trying to achieve by barging in here?
The man behind the operating table stares at the uninvited guests, instructively but does not give them a chance to respond.
Forget it. The next operation requires my attention. Jailer, show them out. Bring me the next patient in 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, Miss Burton. I'm afraid you have to leave now.
Ricola steps forward, blocking their paths. There's a hint of pleading in her voice.
Please, just let us speak with you. It'll only take a moment. I have something very important I need to ask.
Her question is not given time to take shape.
Important. Nothing is of greater importance than my experiments in the panopticon outsiders. To ensure they continue, the stability of time and schedule is absolutely paramount.
Experiments in the panopticon. So you really are the controller of the prison, then?
Control? What an outdated notion. Superficial, really. The Panopticon has no need for such power, regardless of who occupies the central tower, or even if no one's there at all. Every inmate is both the observer and the observed, both wielders and subjects of power. Achieving such a state requires no physical or violent measures. The structure of the Panopticon itself is the mechanism which sustains it. Formala is simply a manifestation of this model. Once I confirm its feasibility and adaptability, this model can be applied to any functional setting with only minor modifications. So far, it has proven to be far superior to any current system of governance in our world. Transcendental. Curse it. Why am I wasting time explaining this to you? Time is running out.
The investigators keenly sensed the key within his words.
Dr. Marley, you keep mentioning time. What exactly do you mean by that?
Really? You need to ask? Even those oily-headed lunatics know it. The end of this era is imminent, is it not?
Indeed, the word that's so close to being spoken.
You know about the storm?
That's what you call it, is it? A storm that washes everything away. You employees of the St. Pavlov Foundation should know better than I. Soon, this era and everything in it will cease to exist. I must prove the feasibility of the Panopticon model before this place is turned to ruins, or something even more unrecognizable.
A storm that washes everything away? Burton, what on earth are you two talking about?
The conversation extends beyond even the most imaginative creator of the aspiring writer.
No one can predict the era to which we will be reversed. I have seen the eras change time and time again. The transformation of this place, over and over. But no matter which era each of these 9 storms, as you call them, has taken us back to, Cordeismo continues to plague this land. Dependency theorists, martyred revolutionists. I've seen them all. You, young writer, are no different from those intellectuals who were swept away in the rain. There is no romance in this era, only the repeated cycles of madness and brutality, an endless, meaningless struggle. Only in this forgotten corner can we momentarily escape the plundering of the marauders and the chaos they unleash. Although it won't be long before this place is looted by those oily-headed lunatics. Just as it has countless times before on this land as rich as silver.
He mutters to himself.
But there is still hope. Even in a wasteland, we may still be saved. As long as I uncover the path to transcendentality, I will find the ultimate answer. Ugh, I've already wasted far too much time on you. Leave, now.
The physician turns away, beginning preparation for the next surgery, organizing his worn-out instruments.
You heard him. Please don't press things any further.
All right, Senora, I get it. Obviously, you don't want to discuss my novel with me anymore, so I won't insist upon it. All the letters we wrote to one another, all those inspiring revisions and suggestions, I guess they meant nothing to you.
Her voice wavers. Rejection, closed doors, harsh critiques. This proves more devastating than all of them together.
But there's still something I must tell you. Jailer, could you please allow us a private conversation with the No. With Aleph.
Hearing this, the physician stops.
Leave us, jailer. I'll spare these outsiders 5 minutes.
The Jaguar turns to leave. her face revealing an uncharacteristic sorrow as she lingers on the girl one last time. This time she offers no word. To be continued. Master of the Labyrinth. Within the corpse of the Labyrinth's builders, he proclaims it is and has always been perfect. Only the steady beeping of the heart monitor keeps the eerie silence at bay.
Dr. Merlin, or should I say Aleph, I don't know why you're using my novel to manipulate the Panopticon. But you need to know that it won't serve your purpose, whether in fiction or reality. You claim that the inmates are both the observer and the observed, and both wielders and subjects of power. How could you be so blind as to not see the true state of the Panopticon? The inmates haven't achieved any perfect order. No, they've devolved into pitiful caricatures of themselves, performers in some endless pantomime to be watched from the central tower. Even their medication has become a prop to demonstrate the so-called randomness of fate in the theater that is the Panopticon. This farce hasn't made the Panopticon a better place. No, it has warped it into a twisted theater of cruelty, where the sick are denied treatment and left to quietly perish in the dark corners of its halls. And literature has died alongside them. This prison is a monster, born under the gaze of this all-seeing power. Aleph, is this truly the ultimate answer you've been searching for?
The physician suddenly seems startled, stepping back and accidentally knocking over his tools.
What? Are you suggesting that this is the answer I've reached? That my experiment has been a failure all along, and I've been too blind to see it? No, impossible. Foucault's theory is flawless.
Having his life work denied is something he cannot tolerate. The man searches the tabletop for faint composure. When doing so, he intentionally sweeps all the surgical tools on the floor.
I have removed every obstacle to the running of this prison. It is pure, sacrosanct. I have constantly re-evaluated the system, adjusting my instructions to my subordinates to ensure the most efficient maintenance of the established order. And now, you stand here and tell me that everything I've done has been meaningless from the very beginning? That the power model I have implemented has already been replaced by an alternative? No, outsiders. The perfect order of the Panopticon shall not be disrupted. I will not be swayed by your lies. This facility is superior to all others. Nothing here escapes my notice.
At last, in a barrel noticeable corner, he finds the 20-sided die wrecked in black mist.
That said, it isn't easy to work a miracle, as we all know. I shall personally verify it all myself.
Battle. All his emotions dissolve as he gripped the die. The narrow operating table shakes as it's responding to him, emitting a distorted screech.
Visitors from another era, you have come here with plagued ideologies in an attempt to break the subtle balance of the Panopticon. But did you not notice the tiles beneath your feet? The cracks and water stains on the walls, constantly changing right before your eyes. This room, the previous room, every room, you have blindly wandered through them, seeing them as nothing more than the building blocks of a monotonous labyrinth. But this place was not born from the chaotic imaginings of a madman. No. Every inch has been crafted through the meticulous harnessing of order and power. Every wisp of spider silk drifting in the wind, every speck of rust on the gallery rail, every detail of the panopticon has been built by my own hands. With this ever-shifting die, concepts may be transformed into reality, and ideals into substance. I observe the movement of every entity, the passage of every second. The moment you entered this realm, you too became subjects of my experiment.
Did the show begin? Excellent. Get ready to step onto the stage.
Admit it, this is all getting out of hand.
Impossible! All is under the die's control. What may appear to be chaos is nothing more than a temporary deviation.
Please stay behind me, Xiangyu. Please lend me your power. You won't get away. Let the show. 强梁既出，王有不为。Ye provoked me.
It's special, precise, perfect.
It is far from perfect. You know that as well as I. Why else would we be conducting this experiment?
Come back. I need your feedback on our session.
This happened when the idealist was attacked too.
To think we've been trapped in a prison fabricated by a die all this time. Did the physician really build all this with such a small, simple object? The distortion is getting worse. Prepare yourselves to fight or flee.
The situation begins to spiral out of control. Now everything in the room stretches and twists until they become a mess of meaningless black and white lines.
Please, Dr. Merlin, stop this.
No. You're asking for the impossible. Power model of the Panopticon is destined to permeate all of society. Such insignificant interferences could never plunge it into chaos.
But it already has, Merlin. You failed.
I have not failed. And as long as I keep the prison running.
The physician fiddles with the die, muttering baffling and incoherent words to himself.
It isn't your power model running the prison. It's the die. It's simply a form of magic, unrelated to the microphysics of power you see. It provides no aid in your experimentation with power. It's a false hope. A castle in the sky given to you by the military junta and Manus Vindictae.
Manus Vindictae? So you really are working with them. What exactly do you intend to do?
Then I will do that. ended up a pathetic fool, lost in the chaos of reality. Just like the idealist chasing visceral reason, Paracelsus seeking the fountain of youth, and Zahir obsessing over the one-sided coin. When did it all start falling apart, Alice? When the doorknob loosened? When the prisoner's wounds started to fester? Or when the daily disinfectant concentration reached 28 milligrams? Or the crack in the second-grade brick on the wall expanded to 6 millimeters? Or was it when Warden Tartuffe left Ushuaia with news of the Foucault Association's dissolution? This place should have been the ideal ground for psychoanalytic practice. Why did they halt all research, all discussion? We've been abandoned, haven't we? By eras old and new. We designed and have maintained everything in Kamala, right down to the smallest details. But it is these details that trap you, and as the bars close around you, you are losing your name, Merlin, and you're becoming a physician, a man forever imprisoned in these walls. I don't understand. All these false eras are like a dreadful novel with no conclusion. Trying to find answers within such things is, in itself, a mistake. Much like them, you are destined never to attain transcendentality. Tell me, Olive, does the ultimate answer even exist?
The die becomes too heavy for him to hold any longer. It drops to the floor. The distortion and tremors of the prison finally subsides, as if the pulse of the massive heart has stopped for an instant. Amidst the swirling dust, the girl helps each other stand. Amidst the swirling dust, the girls help each other stand, but fails to notice the truth revealing itself before them.
Timekeeper, are you alright? Yes, and you? And Miss Recoleta? Are you okay? Miss Recoleta?
The smoke clears, but no one responds. The name girl simply stares in shock at the figure before her.
You're...
The word utopia derives from Greek. It means no place. People cannot understand the structure of the labyrinth, yet they continue to follow its paths. They cannot comprehend the mechanics of fate, yet they believe in its jurisdiction. As if by doing so, everything will naturally fall into place. And now, the polar night approaches. How good it is to see you, pen pal.
Okay. So on stage 14, the mass in the mirror. Between two mirrors hang a single object. One face, two face, cascading into the infinite. Also, it's like a memory game. Well, if we finish it within,
Where did the physician go?
we might do that one maybe.
Sir? Are you...
No one noticed when the unfamiliar prisoner appears. He seems calm and almost ordinary, like an unchanging mirror that has stood here all along in a room. In this labyrinth, passed unseen by everyone. Oh, Ricoletta. I was pronouncing it wrong. The answer she now sees plainly makes her step back in panic. Yeah, can't wait. Me too. Did you see the trailer for his ultimate? It looks pretty cool. But in the end, she says the name out loud. It sounds as heavy, cold, and leaves her at a loss. Yup.
It's you. With my pen down. You are, in fact, in Comala. All those letters. All the ideas we shared. They weren't just my imagination or some prank. Burton, Soneto, it's all just as I told you. They weren't meaningless. They're all real.
I'm still wondering how he made her novel into reality. Yet, why does she feel no joy?
Sir, are you Aleph,
Aleph.
the ruler of this prison? Are you the one controlling the panopticon of the die? The one hiding Miss Doris's whereabouts?
What curious inquiries. Quite different from the last 2,666 questions I've received. My guests, you may call me Aleph, or by any other name, be it a symbol of God's oneness or a farcical epithet. I am merely one of the many prisoners who voluntarily reside here. A single letter in the alphabet.
Is he one of like the famous VA people or no?
A letter. The way you speak is quite different from Dr. Marlin. Still, I wonder what your relationship is with him.
Under the dim lighting, the man looks drained of all energy.
But allow me to make a guess.
Yeah, I know they'll do their own thing.
I'm afraid that's not entirely accurate, but you may think of it that way. Merlin is a figment born of my mind, an incomplete reenactment. He is me, yes, but not entirely.
So does he have two personalities or more?
They failed to find their answers. They fought against their predestined fates, only to be inevitably crushed under their weight. I simply stood by and watched it all unfold. That was the extent of our relationship.
Alright.
You've already met Merlin and the Idealist, even witnessed their demise. Shackled by the delusions of verses, the Idealist lost his own name. Merlin, too, imprisoned himself within the system of Panopticon.
Panopticon.
Their desperate pursuits caused you some trouble. Please forgive them. After all, your fleeting encounters led to the demise of them both.
I think I understand now. The Idealist and the Physician are both parts of you. Or, to put it another way, they're your alter egos.
It seems the jailer diagnosis that the whole prison is mad has been shown to be more accurate than anyone could ever imagine. See the real world history around Patacona. Oh, okay, we'll see. Patacona.
The physician mentioned Manus Vindicte. What's the relationship between this prison and the Manus?
Visitors from the Foundation. We all witnessed those eras perish. In 1977, not long before the fourth storm, I arrived in Ushuaia. Shortly after, some members of the National Foucault Studies Association reached out to me. But it wasn't just them. An arcanist organization called Manus Vindicte also approached me. each of them wanted answers. They named me their advisor.
You acted as an advisor to the Manus?
The two parties presented me with a concept and a parable, respectively.
A concept and a parable?
The Foucault Association sought to explore the feasibility of the panopticon concept here, while Manus Vindictae showed me a parable from the past and future. Day and night, I wandered through endless texts, endless realities, as I searched for answers. And thus, Merlin was born. He was both an experiment and a price I paid. A new concept, a new direction. Pursuing such things always leaves me confined by the limitations of human knowledge. Merlin spent his entire life exploring Foucault's theories in pursuit of that singular yet infinite answer.
What about the Manus, Mr. Aleph? You didn't explain why you helped them.
Explain why? Because they asked me to, just as you have. I simply won't to answer their questions.
So you're saying that, to you, we are no different from Manus Vindictae? And if we ask, you'll answer us, without holding anything back?
Is that not precisely what is happening this very moment?
Adolf picks the fallen die. It flickers with a familiar, uncomforting glow.
This is what the Manus gave Merlin. A magical die named the Tear of Kumala. It was once a gemstone that belonged to a god. At the beginning of the century, explorers plucked it from an ancient gate they discovered in Antarctica. To the explorers' amazement, the gemstone could turn human desires into reality. So they cut it into a die, a symbol of fate, and used it to build a sanatorium.
I was gonna say, like, is he like almost like a Google? Oh, type in what you want to know. Her words are direct, yet they still leave the outsiders perplexed.
Then, Aleph, you really are the mastermind behind the Panopticon?
The silent girl grips her notebook. Her knuckles turn white from the pressure. A draft of the unpublished novel, with words that only she knows, the countless hours spent at her desk, the self-reflection, the meager questioning, revision, scrutiny of every word. The book holds the life of its writer.
You said Merlin used the Panopticon to seek his answer. What does that have to do with my novel? I don't get it, Aleph. Why would you use my novel to manipulate this place? Roberta, Garcia, Octavia, Pablo, the jailer, everyone. Not one of them deserved to be trapped in a deadly loop in which everyone's fate is already predestined. They're just like the ghosts in Amalfitano, inescapably trapped within the ruins.
Well, I mean, like, with the new, also when his bag comes out, you think they're gonna give him his story or antidote, like how they did it for Rikulula? So we might find out more about his story in the next, what is it, 3 days? Hopefully, because usually when they, do the updates and stuff, they have the character banners as the story. There's some, the side stories. Yeah. Which, okay, yeah. Yeah, because I want to see, like, what, like, from the trailer, did it show, like, what powers he had or anything like that, or... Like I said, I was wondering, like, how is he bringing, Raquel's, story or novel to life or to reality? Also, we'll probably find out later, I guess. Because how is this happening right now? How's this, the loop going? Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, I see. The one that the mantis gave him.
Tell me, what is it you really want?
The Tear of Kamala. Hearing this, the lonely prisoner fidgets with the die, looking puzzled.
It's not about what I want. It's about what you want. The third line of your first letter. You said you wanted to give the rise and fall of sanity an ending.
Oh, are they creating the ending now? Yeah. Yeah, we could have figured that was a mantis item. Office. The mournful, the grotesque, the sum of self and self.
Los registros históricos del Dado de Babilonia aún se pueden encontrar en la biblioteca de la Universidad Santa Teresa. No. Una
I guess
pregunta
so.
como esta haría la historia demasiado ambigua. En 1975, en el pueblo de Amalfitano, Sonora, México, ocurrió algo terrible y escalofriante en la cabaña con el techo azul. Todo comenzó con las costumbres peculiares de los locos. Espera, ¿cómo supe todo esto? Necesito agregar un rol para el narrador. El cuentacuentos. Un poeta surrealista de México me contó esta historia. Un anciano entró en el bar al que solía ir en el pueblo. Al mismo tiempo,
El empleado del banco también entró al bar trayendo la noticia de que la corporación multinacional iba a construir una fábrica de jabón de galletas no mexicanas.
espera, enviado del banco. No sabía que había bancos en Amalfitano.
Wait, a cookie factory?
Pero sí,
Or soap cookie
tiene
factory?
sentido. Los bancos comerciales son, sin duda, un sello del capitalismo. Gracias, amigo por correspondencia. Antes de convertirse en empleado del banco, era un defensor de las antiguas costumbres del pueblo. Era un pescador de dunas.
Después de aceptar el destino otorgado por el Dado de Babilonia, eligió dejar todo atrás. El triste y aterrador pueblo y los ciclos ocultos dentro de la infinita aleatoriedad.
Oh, qué irónico. Pero también
She get lucky to get Office as her pen pal?
personaje conversante, un creyente en el destino. Una anciana tejedora se sentó en su antiguo taller, girando incansablemente su rueca, un regalo precioso otorgado por el Dado de Babilonia.
La tejedora ciega relajó suavemente todo lo que había vivido.
No.
Idea brillante, Aleph. Una tejedora ciega no podría haber presenciado el asesinato.
So how did doors come out?
En este caso, agregaré a un conductor de burros que es asesinado en este capítulo.
Donkey driver.
Con cada una de tus sugerencias, la historia da un paso adelante. Gracias, Aleph. Pero todavía no veo ninguna señal del final.
So how does her story end?
No importara cuántos personajes nuevos agreguemos, todavía falta algo en el pueblo desértico. Le falta una figura clave. Aleph,
Congrats, Abby, for reading second.
¿cómo le doy un final a esta historia?
Not much. How's everything? How's your day?
Tú misma me preguntaste, ¿cómo le doy un final a esta historia? Me describiste cómo tus palabras se habían transformado en un rompecabezas desmesurado infinito, un lenguaje irreconocible, una colección de información ambigua y una parábola que había perdido todo su significado. La ausencia de un final aún te roe, atrapándote para siempre en ese abrasador pueblo de ser.
Game's been pretty okay.
Todo lo que estoy haciendo es intentar encontrarlo para ti.
We're finding a lot about her, the character.
¿Estás diciendo que has estado manipulando los acontecimientos en el panóptico desde que intercambiamos cartas por primera vez septiembre pasado?
She struggles, vainly hoping for him to deny it.
Sí, cada vez que revisabas la novela, se hacían ajustes correspondientes en el panóptico, reflejar fielmente las complejidades de cada detalle era clave para asegurar que la historia avanzara sin problemas. Estos ajustes los manejaba principalmente Merlin, a veces el idealista, y antes de ellos, Zahir y Paracelsus.
And like the background music.
Seis versiones de la historia de un gitano ya se han desarrollado en el panóptico.
Eso significa la rana aplastada en el barro, la vaca muriendo de vieja, el lirón
Wait, so it happened all 6 times?
el fantasma asesinado en el duelo y los cambios repentinos al dado de Babilonia. Todas las revisiones que sugeriste, todas las muertes, el caos y la locura, ¿realmente sucedieron aquí mismo?
Every knowing prisoner falls in a long, dark silence. He will not answer a question when the one asking already knows the answer.
Incluso la eternidad tiene sus límites, Orekome. In the 6th revision, we added the blind weaver, an extraordinary figure. Just like the paracausality researcher who carries a suitcase that you introduced in your 7th letter.
The paracausality researcher
Oh, Burton.
suitcase. Miss Recoletta, is this character really based on the timekeeper?
What? Of course not. The paracausality researcher is an entirely different character.
Don't you understand? We're only one die roll away from the ending.
Alfred lifts the core of the infinite labyrinth. The tear of Kamala swirls slowly in his hands.
I don't. What on earth are you trying to do?
The filament lamp at the operating room dims in time with his motion. The walls ripple like water, then transform into countless mirrors. Within the mirror, an endless stream of information appears. An seemingly possessed telephone babbles, an old radio sings, a flickering side projector whirls and cracks. A muted film projector spins, the timetable open, and dictionaries of countless language flows past. A room without an exit, the eternal predicament, a prisoner's dwelling.
Recoletta, it is the cycle of fate that has brought you to the panopticon of Komala in Ushuaia. Now, return to the rise and fall of sanity. Return, and become a character once more. You've been searching for its ending, but how could you possibly find it when you're no longer inside the story. I believe that this time you will witness the grand finale with your own two eyes. No more sadness, no more loneliness. The answer you've long sought lies in the inevitable final row of the die.
So, the jailer is the bank clerk, and Erd is the blind weaver. But what about Roberta, Garcia, and Octavia? They weren't even assigned roles. They were just playthings, helpless in the face of fate. What right do you or I have to decide what happens to them? To dictate their gains and losses?
But they couldn't possibly understand such a thing, could they? To you, it's just a story. But to them, it is the manifestation of bittersweet destiny.
Do you think hiding behind the guise of fiction absolves you from the reality that you've turned the Panopticon into a living hell? Yes. You're the only one who truly understands the rise and fall of sanity. Goodness knows how many manuscripts I sent out but never received a reply. I was so grateful to you for your replies, for understanding my novel. Those things were more precious to me than any sunrise over the Andes. Had I known that your feedback was created in such a way, and at such a cost, I would have preferred not to receive it at all. Don't you get it? Even if they don't understand my novel, the people I meet are still my friends. Whether we took a long journey together, or we simply chatted for a few hours. We formed an inseparable, miraculous bond. They're a part of me. How could you treat them like fictional characters? It's disrespectful to my work, and to life itself.
The writer's resistance is so sharp that it cuts through Alfio's carefully constructed labyrinth easily.
But you raised the question yourself. Why do you resist receiving its answer?
He lowers his head, and for the first time, cracks appears on the industrial mass.
They're always like this, aren't they? They throw a question at you, only to abandon it along with the fading of the earth. This storm will spare no one. You've known it all along, Alice. Only the timeless Panopticon can maintain control. The all-seeing tower. The perfect governing system. What a hopeless fool you are, man. Haven't you heard what they say? There is no need to build a labyrinth when the whole world already is there. Your meaningless questions will be swept away by the tides of time, only to resurface on the shores of our minds once more. We've seen it happen, over and over again. Surely you've realized by now that the only true meaning can be found in literature. For over a century, literature has remained the singular, ultimate answer. This lonely cowboy is simply feeling lost at the moment. Spare us your rambling. You're wasting our time.
Enough.
So he's fighting against himself? The dye that reflects the heart can no longer bear its weight as it glows from within burning fissure. On the surrounding mirrors, countless reflections also appears, each wearing a different face. They crowd into the room as a flood of ghosts.
Aleph seems to be in a terrible state. We have to be careful. Something isn't right about that dye.
Is it corrupting him?
Let us have a fair fight.
Go ahead. Keep the story going. Carry it through until we finally feel the sweet gratification of the ending.
Your endeavors are doomed to fail. There's only madness in literature and art, not transcendentality.
Más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo, en todos los momentos. Please lend me your power. Please stay behind me. Cosmología, filosofía clásica, el fondo, la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más. Nuestro adversario es el tiempo. Be careful. You won't get away. El camino más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo. Let the show begin. Oh please, I know how to use it. La acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más. 强梁既出，王有不为。Idealismo, duelos de fantasía, patrones ocultos. Ah! Didn't see that coming, did you? Please stay behind me. Oh, please. I know how to. En todos los momentos. Hold on. Psychiatrist at work. Bang, bang. My responsibility.
How many forms is he gonna have?
Filosofía clásica. El fundamento del mundo.
Great. Okay.
Now presenting, this shall be my only act. Más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo. Let the show begin. Idealismo, duelos de fantasía, patrones ocultos. Thy ending is destined. Do I have to do this? Enough!
These explorations, these fractures, they're all failures, aren't they? In this infinite expanse, I feel nothing but infinite sorrow.
Case closed. I'll be sure to write a report and put it on your...
The chaotic battle comes to a abrupt halt.
Wait! Mr. Olive? Are you human?
Sanana steps back, lowering her glass feather. She is shocked to realize that her opponent has no arcane skill at all. From beginning to end, all he had was the die.
Please hand over the die peacefully.
Mr. Aleph, please stop resisting. It's futile.
Futile. Yes, it's all futile. The cage of rules, the ideals of literature, both are futile. illusions conjured along the path to transcendentality. They all fear that they're nothing more than phantoms in someone else's dream. That reality will devour everything, including their very existence. That's why they drift further away from transcendentality. They couldn't break free from that false dream. None of them.
Right off. Aleph stumbles as he looks up at the storyteller.
Both the physician and the idealist walked toward their own destruction, just as I expected. But your novel still has hope, Recoleta. Its ending hasn't been written yet. We cannot deny that it may be the answer to achieving transcendentality.
You're not going to stop, are you? Not until you get your answer. Sinetta, we have no choice but to seize the die from him by force.
Sonata arcane energy gathers at the tip of her glass sphere. At this moment, the silent storyteller takes a step forward.
Enough. I said enough.
She shakes as she reveals the notebook that has never left her side. The boundary of fiction. She does not hesitate. (1990) Guadalajara International Book Fair. People move between bookshelves and corridors, engage in a heated conversation. The air is filled with the mingling of multiple languages.
I'm afraid we can't publish your novel in its current state, Recoleta. We look forward to seeing more refined work from you in the future. Ah, Senor Cruz, what a pleasure to see you. I'm an editor from the Naranja Dulce Publishing House. Could you spare a moment to discuss the copyright for the Blue Book? We're huge fans of your children's literature.
The editor leaves, hurrying after another writer, leaving Recoleta standing alone in place. The 17th publisher to reject her today.
Hey, relax, Recoleta. Look at all the books around you. This place is heaven. You can't get down on yourself. Not here. There's so many writers and publishers here. It's only natural you'd be turned down 17 times. This is just the beginning.
The young writer, attempting to forget her 17th rejection, flips through the event guide in her hands.
Now, which section should I visit next? Oh, this brochure might help.
She turns to the last page of the thick handbook, where all the invited authors and their contact details are listed.
Estupendo. An exchange of ideas between writers. Nothing could be more incredible than that. I recall James Joyce was inspired by a letter he received from Henrik Ibsen. So, maybe what I need is to find someone to share my manuscript with. But, who? Adeo Emasums. Aleph. Averroes.
A knock at the door interrupts her daydream.
Oh, it's you, senor. Don't worry. I promise I'll catch up on the rent next month. Although I must say, this apartment's hardly worth the price. The cracks on the walls must date back to the last century.
Mejor, excuse you want English. If you don't pay the rent soon, you'll either end up in that crumbling colonial building on the corner or on the street selling oranges at the San Telmo market. By the way, Folie told me you lost your
job at the textile factory. You wonder some kinda can't work in one place for more than 3 months, curse or something, senorita?
Oh, you don't even want to know about the terrible things that happened in that factory. All I did was lend the oppressed workers a hand.
Bah, you're just like those college kids, full of hot air. Anyway, I am not here about the rent. Didn't you tell me to watch out for your letters a while back, when you just returned from abroad? Well, here it is, a letter for you.
The girl freezes for the moment, then snatches the letter and slams the door shut, almost bursting with excitement as she unfolds it.
Dios mío! Someone actually wrote back to me! This is incredible! Oh, thank you so much for bringing it to me, senor!
She slits open the long traveling letter.
Dear Miss Recoleta, it's from, let's see, Aleph.
Hey, I've been watching you. You're not local, are you? What are you writing?
Oh, hola. You're right. I just arrived in Buenos Aires 3 days ago. My trip's been a lot like a Copes tango performance. Full of twists and turns, but nothing much worth telling, really. I'm actually writing a reply to my pen pal. Long story short, I sent him a manuscript of my novel, and to my surprise, he actually wrote back. Amazing, isn't it? In our recent letters, we've been discussing how my novel lacks a key character to drive the story toward a decisive ending. So we've been debating whether to introduce a new ghost to act as a turning point for the story.
Oh, so then you're a writer? Hey, Pancho, come over here. I found an actual real-life writer.
What's the big deal? I wrote plenty of poems in middle school.
Oh, so you're a poet. I have a feeling we're about to embark on an incredible adventure together. Are you interested in joining the visceral realism movement?
Vis what? I've never heard of it, but it sounds like fun.
Fabuloso! We have no time to waste. Once I finish this letter, you two must join me on a journey to Ushuaia.
Ushuaia? The end of the world? Why the heck would we go to that icebox?
Oh, don't be such a downer, Pancho. Just think of the fun we'll have, the breathtaking scenery we'll see, and the incredible stories we'll hear.
Hi, Maria. I'll deal with the cold if you really want to go so badly.
By the way, could you tell us about your novel?
Of course. I'll tell you all about it on the way. Now where to begin? Alright, let's start with the cottage with a blue roof and a malfitana.
Thanks. Welcome in. Let me give you a shout out. How's your day?
Since then, I've been traveling. First from Chile to Mexico, then from Mexico to Argentina. And I've never stopped writing. I'm not really sure what the purpose of my novel is. I just keep writing and writing. I can't stop. What power does literature hold? What responsibilities? Perhaps only by continuing to write will I understand one day.
Yeah, I forgot the command for my, did I spell it wrong? Let's see. Yeah, she's the one that did my VTuber art and rigging. And my emotes. Zaris. After the long journey, these pages of letters form a faded riddle, their handwriting long since blurred.
Aleph, you're right. I do want an ending to my novel. But not like this.
You really have no idea, do you, Recoleta?
Hey Theo, how's everything? Her only reader realizes she has not grasped what is happening, forcing him to reveal the truth he has long concealed.
The rise and fall of sanity is your story.
I'm doing pretty well, and congrats on redeeming third. We're trying to finish up the main event for the 2.6 update, so I think we're almost there. It's our third day doing the main event.
What do you mean?
You are a ghost, wandering this forsaken land, still striving to create a miracle. You are a wandering poet, born in Amalfi Tunnel, the foolishly brave protagonist of the story, and the embodiment of the author herself. A reflection, yes. The author, no. You are simply a figment of her imagination, a manifestation of her dream to wander. Have you not realized it? The literary pursuits and romantic adventures you described, they are merely faded memories from 1975.
Yep, and he's the next person that's coming out in the banner.
She joined the visceral realism movement with you, left Latin America long ago.
I'm gonna try to roll for him.
Faded memories.
As for the novel, it's yours now. A story you're writing. A story about yourself. Your departure has turned Amalfitano into a ghost town. The characters have lost their connection to you. They're gradually fading away. If the novel is destroyed, you too will cease to exist.
Wait. This is... Miss Recoleta? Is what he said true?
I know you never lie, pen pal. In your first letter, you told me that a character's role in fate must be determined from the outset and consistently adhered to throughout the story. Reading the perspective and insights of a walking encyclopedia, having such a person be willing to share their thoughts at all was an exhilarating experience.
I think it's one of the words that I thought Twitch didn't allow it anymore.
I had never imagined
Unless it's
life
changed.
developed in this way. Words could hardly describe how I felt in that moment. No one but you has ever understood the story of that town, let alone offered any
The
relation.
next,
Following
the
your
4-letter
advice,
word.
I had
Yep.
the banker, the doomed skater, the blind weaver, and the murdered donkey driver. Amalfitano was no longer an empty town with a single blue roof cottage. The new ghostly residents had begun to fill the skies over it. The story was finally reaching completion. I could feel that the ending was within reach. I became increasingly eager to meet my pen pal. I couldn't get the thought out of my mind. I wasn't sure what I would say to this Aleph. A simple thank you, perhaps? Or maybe a discussion about the future of Amalfitano with its sole reader. Or maybe I'm no different from everyone else. Led up the garden path by fate. But even if I am a A ghost, as you say. An incarnation of someone else. A fictional being. So what? My resolve will not waver, even if my existence is bound to fade away. Because this isn't what literature is supposed to be. You once told me there isn't an ounce of reality in fiction, only voids and glorified lies. Let me tell you this. Whether real or fictional, corporeal or intangible, I have accepted my existence. Now, let's put a stop to this, Aleph. The inmates aren't characters in my novel. They're people trapped in a prison. Just as you are. By simulating my story here,
she's ripping at her
made me
story.
some kind of god. A guilty, false creator. A dictator of fate.
Oh, what's happening to her?
I never wanted any of this. I have all the essentials for writing poetry. You, me, and our opponent.
¡Lo veo! ¡La frecuencia perfecta! ¡La admirable aleatoriedad del destino! Creo que lo he encontrado. La fuente del lado de Babilonia.
Las deudas de los muertos. Esas facturas. Todas han sido hechas trizas. Ya no estoy atrapado.
Is everyone free now?
Desde el día en que perdí la vista, nunca imaginé que la rueda giratoria volviera a girar.
Más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo.
Please stay behind me. Please lend me your power.
En todos los momentos. A truly villainous moment.
Be careful. You won't get away. 强梁既出，王有不为。
Do I have to do this? Vitamina. A simple arcane trick. Oh please, I know how to use it. En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más.
强梁既出，王有不为。
Case closed. I'll be sure to write a report and put it on your table. And please don't forget to check the previous reports too now.
Does anyone know what's the? I know 18 is the last one, but is there how many more chapters are there after that? Shattered words and ghostly illusions roar forth, breaking free from the story's structure and the gap between its lines, filled with regret and obsession. Torn letters and book page flutter in the air like snow in the crystal globe on a winter night. Everything is quiet.
Miss Recoleta has vanished. Did she really cease to exist like Aleph said?
Alright, just in time for our ad. So we have ad in 30 seconds. Alright, let's continue. 17. Ghosts of the Past. Beneath the earth, those who were never granted marbles, no memorials, call out her name. So what happened to her? On an unknown night. Oh, it does its own self thing. Alright. On an unknown night, the wind carries the cold desolate of the desert. In the cottage with a blue roof, a girl dreams of a circular prison. Then she wakes.
Qué sueño más extraño. El sabor de la realidad, tan amargo y triste. Pero lleno de pensamiento dialéctico. Tal vez la gente del panóptico reflejaba mis pensamientos internos.
She looks around, surveying the cobweb corner where the stacks of manuscripts have piled up at the ceiling, and over empty ink bottles collecting dust.
Entonces realmente soy un personaje en la novela. La misteriosa cabaña con el techo azul fue mi hogar todo el tiempo. Entonces, los rumores que los fantasmas propagaron eran realmente eso. Rumores.
The young writer steps out of her home and into the streets of a familiar yet foreign desert town. Countless nameless characters and ghosts arise upon hearing the news, filling the road and skies.
Bienvenida de nuevo a Amalfitano, querida escritora.
Gracias, querido ícono del capitalismo. Pero, ¿no desgarré esta novela en pedazos?
A woman wearing a particular hat steps forward.
Verás, Amalfitano es una dimensión más allá de la vida y la muerte. Este pueblo es un reflejo de tus pensamientos internos. Es incorpóreo. No puedes desgarrar algo incorpóreo en pedazos. La literatura es infinita y atemporal, como un río que fluye a través de la vida y la muerte. No me extraña que seas mi personaje favorito. Nunca dejas de iluminarme.
Desafortunadamente, la literatura es una vocación peligrosa e inútil. Nadie entiende realmente, ni siquiera recuerda tu trabajo. ¿Recuerdas el dicho? Los únicos verdaderamente muertos son aquellos que han sido olvidados. Recoleta, desaparecerás para siempre si dejas a Amalfitano otra vez. Será como si nunca hubieras existido.
Siempre he admirado tu pensamiento crítico, señor. Encaja perfectamente con tu rol.
Rough hands grasp the writer's palm, feeling at the lines etched in her skin.
Todo estará bien, Recoleta. Lo que sea que haya pasado, ahora has regresado. Eso es lo que importa. El dado de Babilonia rodará de nuevo. Cada uno de nosotros obtendrá nuestros finales.
The crowd erupts in cheers.
Así es. Resuelve el asesinato en el bar. Pon mi alma en paz.
Libera al pueblo de la locura infligida por el antiguo espíritu.
Arregla la aleatoriedad del dado de Babilonia y aplana la frecuencia catastrófica.
What's she gonna roll? The young writer takes a step forward. Everyone, the living and the ghosts, watches spectacularly.
Entonces, el final que he estado buscando es el que el otro yo no pudo darme. El yo que se lanzó de cabeza a la lucha contra un poder invencible.
It's a dice roll. She's getting that 20.
Que finalmente dejó esta tierra. Después de todo este tiempo, finalmente he encontrado mi final.
She grasps the gleaming die of Babylon.
Solo un lanzamiento más. habrá terminado. Mi historia. Mi pueblo. Todo finalmente.
Everything's going to end.
Pero el sueño sobre el panóptico también terminará, ¿verdad?
She stops.
Oh, cariño. Es solo un sueño.
Ah, no me digas que estás abandonando tu búsqueda de toda la vida por un miserable sueño.
Ese sueño es cruel. Nadie tiene esta gran novela ahí ni este pueblo asombroso. Pero aquí eres una verdadera escritora. Este es tu hogar, Recoleta.
Pero ya extraño a mis amigos en ese sueño. Existe, así como este lugar existe.
Pero nosotros también somos tus amigos, Recoleta.
Podrías desaparecer si dejas a Malditano. ¿Estás segura de que quieres irte?
The young writer pulls out the die in her hand. The die that signifies the end of everything vanished in the sandy wind.
¿Sabéis cómo soy, queridos amigos? He pasado mi vida emprendiendo aventuras tontas y no recompensadas. Así soy yo, ¿verdad? Amalfitano es, en efecto, un lugar ideal. Un lugar para vagar, para un viaje corto y para perderse un rato. Y tiene ustedes, mis amigos ficticios, a quienes quiero tanto. Pero debo regresar a mi sueño. ¿Ver a mis amigos ahí? Ellos son igual de importantes para mí.
As they hear her words, the ghost of the town smiles with relief.
Sí, tienes razón, Recoleta. No se puede negar que eres un alma noble y apasionada. Cada uno de nosotros lo sabe.
También eres nuestra querida amiga. ¿Por qué te detendremos de hacer lo que realmente deseas?
Everyone makes their way as a path in a boundless void unfolds.
Lo mejor, Recoleta. Buenas noches, querida. Que tu sueño sea dulce esta vez.
Gracias a todos, mis amigos. Nunca los olvidaré.
The girl wipes the tears from her eyes and steps into the looming darkness. All is silent as she enters the barren land. There is only one faint sound of footsteps echoing against the vast and empty darkness.
To be frank, it lacks both depth and breadth. This town of yours is still far from reflecting the complexity of society, and the narrative lacks a discerning perspective. It still needs some work if you want it to truly resonate with our audience. Just go for it, señorita. You're at a perfect age to explore, experience, and learn.
Time wheel, and at least the girl feels her existence again within the void. She reclaims her voice.
What's happening to me?
A thousand, or perhaps countless, faces emerge from her before her again.
Of course. The rise and fall of sanity is my story. So, even though the novel's been destroyed, the story, and myself along with it, lives on in the minds of those who read it. Thank you for your feedback, editor. Even here in this great expanse of darkness, I can still hear your words. You have my gratitude. Thank you for reading my novel, even if you didn't understand it, and likely never will.
She navigates the labyrinth of words and the endless span of mirrored waters, darkness surging towards her like a rush of waves on a dark night, making her presence feel heavier.
Honestly, I find your story totally fascinating. But I'm still struggling to understand the connections between all these nameless characters. Couldn't you make it clearer? Like a movie?
Typical. Trust a writer to try to be all obscure and mysterious.
mucho. You guys are the best traveling pals I've ever had. Our paths may diverge in the future, but the joyful memories of our journey across grasslands, snowfields, and deserts together will remain forever.
It's been great coming along with you. You're totally one of a kind. He'll be waiting for you at my aunt's vineyard. A little sun after a hard day's work will do you good.
The passionate companion waves to her, never looking back as they continue forward. The girl's steps are no longer weightless. With every step she takes, they feel heavier and more real. She lingers inside the infinite mass in the mirror, a boundless universe filling her with both confusion and illusion.
Passionate, poetic, fractured, and chaotic. But when viewed as a whole, her work feels like little more than a superficial illusion. It lacks the depth to truly touch the soul. I will refrain from offering further comments until she stops romanticizing her childish visions.
To put it bluntly, her phraseology feels overly deliberate to the point of distortion. Her verbiage is like a collection of vague sentiment bubbles.
Is this Rigoletto?
I see, Aleph. Then this is how you really feel about my novel?
1,000 readers will interpret a story 1,000 different ways. Some believe the text itself is dead, and it is the reader who gives it life. The truth cannot be fully conveyed through words alone. That said, I think The Rise and Fall of Sanity is a good story.
Her heart skips a beat. Within the
Oh, so the Eternal Paradise is a library of sorts, just like I always imagined. Or is this just another reflection of my inner thoughts? I like it here. It's nice being surrounded by literature. But it's time to go back. Back to reality. You're right about literature, Forsyth Weber. It is a dangerous and futile calling, but I still believe in it.
The investigators from the Foundation breathe a sigh of relief together. Recoletta's reappearance is as sudden as her disappearance. Sonella hasn't even had time to wipe the tears from the corner of her eyes.
Recoletta, you're back.
I'm so glad to see you're safe. And I'm so glad to see you two worried sick about me. Thanks, mis mejores amigas, Soneto y Burton.
The reborn writer turns to the prisoner sitting dejected nearby.
See, Aleph? I still exist.
Amalfitano is gone. It's all over. You're simply a wandering ghost now, never to return home again. You may still exist, but Amalfitano will never get its ending. You've nullified its existence, rendering all of this meaningless. Sorry I couldn't answer your question. I have failed once again.
His die falls on the ground. Once used to construct a beautiful dream, now whatever magic it held has dissipated.
Amalfitano and the Panopticon were two parts of a whole. With Amalfitano gone, Komala no longer has any reason to exist.
I'm sorry, Aleph. You, who know all the mysteries of the world, who seek answers to every question, have lost yourself in the process. You can answer everyone else's questions, but never your own. Who's the person behind that mask? Is he real? Does he still exist?
Who am I?
The weighty ending of the story leaves the prisoner still trapped in a blurred illusion, exhausted. Camilla's prison groans like an aging water wheel, shrugging under its own weight, distorting, feeding, and collapsing into the current of his mind.
Stay vigilant, everyone. This is just like when the idealist and the physician had their meltdown. Only this time, it seems even worse.
I think Aleph is trying to tear down the Panopticon.
Beyond the crumbling walls, a shivering figure is faintly visible. He grips a gun tightly. A black barrel, shaking in his hands, is aimed at the people in the room.
Freeze! Stay where you are, all of you.
Who's the one that held a gun against us?
Take a deep breath, soldier. The smoke's cleared now. This story, this battle, will soon come to an end. A writer has departed from her domain, leaving her creations scattered behind her, like blood-soaked bandages and fragmented skulls in the trenches. What a garbled mess.
I don't understand it at all.
Glad we're on the same page. Thank heavens my commander wasn't some kind of literature. Else I'd have been blown to bits before I could decipher their poetic orders.
You develop a sense of humor.
Well, it's all thanks to a certain writer, the embodiment of the wandering poet and traveler from Santiago to Buenos Aires. She impressed me with her precious experience as a cafe dishwasher and campground caretaker. What really rekindled my sense of humor was her seriousness about her literary pursuits. You'd understand what I mean if you'd ever heard a cheesy joke at a comrade's graveside. Drawing strength from her wanderings and rebellious exploits, she attempted to change society, wielding the sword of literature as a revolutionary intellectual and a leader of thought. Some would hail her as a battle angel of Latin America, with words as piercing as bullets and poems as powerful as tactical bombers.
I believe in the power of literature.
You stand firm in your beliefs, huh? Well, maybe that's a good thing. Commander has to trust their soldiers, or they'll be forced to surrender before long. Here, come closer. Let me tell you a secret.
Let me tell you a secret.
Many, if not all, people foolishly think it's the executioner who drops the guillotine blade, the powder that fires the bullet. While they're half right, they're substantially inaccurate. Craters on the battlefield aren't the result of bombs, but a clashing of ideologies. A trigger pulled long before the powder ever ignited in the barrel. As for literature, well, best not to buy too much into the Latin American boom. Forget about the status report from earlier. That said, at least there's one thing that's certain. Books can bite back, and they'll leave scars.
18. In praise of Folie. A tiny boat adrift upon a sea of ideal, convinced it has hoisted its sail. A prisoner steps out from behind the wall, a weapon held in his shaking hands.
I was just setting up my exhibit when everything started shaking. Then I realized it wasn't just my imagination. So I followed the cracks in the wall and found my way here. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but something's happening to the panopticon, isn't it?
His panic hand shifts the gun towards Alfie, who has collapsed on his side.
Are you the physician? Or is it Aleph? Whoever you are, please restore the panopticon to the way it was. I'm begging you. You can do that, right?
The mind that once created infinite now watches as it falls back into nothing before him.
Why aren't you doing anything, damn it? Why is this happening? The die. If you won't help me, then I'll do it myself.
The prisoner, in desperation, lunges forward.
Calm down, Garcia.
The show begins? Excellent. Get ready to step onto the stage. Please stay behind. Let the show... My responsibility. Enough! Illusion is enough. Let the show begin. Please stay behind me. Foolish!
The field work went smooth. I look forward to our next cooperation.
Timekeeper, he's...
Timekeeper, he's... Garcia, weakened by his long confinement, is easily knocked to the ground, unable to withstand even the lightest touch of arcane skill.
Why is this happening to me? I was so close to completing the exhibition.
Did you see, Garcia? There is no one controlling this place now. You're free. It isn't the die that's trapped you, nor is it the walls of this prison. It's the rules and that overpowering gaze from the central tower. But now that's all gone. You can go outside. You can set up your exhibit anywhere you want. No need to stay stuck in this.
Looking back at all that he's lost, the artist cuts her off.
You've seen the world out there. You know as well as I that there's nowhere else I can go but here. This is the only place in the world where I can hold my exhibit. And you've ruined it. You've ruined everything.
This room's about to collapse. We've got to leave.
He drags himself forward with trudging steps, retracing the path to leave.
Bertie, what about Aleph? We can't just leave him here. Of course not. We still have questions he needs to answer. Sinetto, help me get him up. Let's get out of here.
Yes, Timekeeper.
The dejected prisoner looks at Sonata with confusion.
Your words are always at odds with your thoughts. You carry an ocean of questions, yet never reveal even a single drop of them. Why have you never shared your doubts? Why do you stay silent in the face of everything and everyone around you?
I believe in my duty.
The prisoner shifts his gaze to the other Foundation investigator.
As for you, paracausality researcher, you're different from any other seeker of answers. Even on a desperate, near-hopeless journey, your heart holds little doubt.
Perhaps not every question needs an answer, Mr. Aleph.
Is that so?
The prisoner, so used to answering others' question, seems to have run into one of his own, but unfortunately, no one is here to answer it. To be continued.
Look, it's sinking. Corpses float on the planks, and the fleeing prisoners are swimming toward the shore. Time to abandon ship.
What ship?
One that was exiled to a desolate corner of the ocean by the resplendent civilized world. It's both a prison and a sanitarium. Are any of your friends aboard? If so, you might find the following report a little offensive. Dregs of society. Human scum. These are the terms used to describe its eccentric passengers. To be fair, they do lack discipline and independence. But that may well be a response to the heavy pain they've endured. Some theorists suggest that they're innocent victims, trapped in the confines between rationality and irrationality, defined and redefined by historians as they please. But let's ditch the theories and simplify things. The moment the shackle called madness was fastened around their necks, whether they were truly mentally ill or not, their lives were forever scarred. And now, the mad passengers are storming the shore.
A favorable outcome.
I suppose it is. You can see the joy in their faces, even in the footprints they leave behind as they hop across the beach. Yes, freedom is favorable indeed. The freedom to squander our lives, to trample on the dignity of others, the freedom to embrace absurdity and meaninglessness. Let's dig deeper. Scavenge through the messy battlefield for dog tags. Are these people born mad? After watching the inhabitants of this earth tear each other apart in one war after another, I've concluded this. Only knowledge drives people to madness. Ignorance does not. Madness is a side effect of the sedative that is knowledge. As long as those on land continue to consume it, this ship will never be short on recruits. This is a war between madness and civilization. Both sides have leveled accusations, spilled blood, and pummeled each other. And soon, Everyone will have leapt into the trenches and been beaten to a bloody pulp. Only a few can escape this fate.
Like who?
Check your six.
Check your six? What's that mean?
The one leaning against the sunken ship, showing no signs of struggle or sorrow. Garcia. The seawater has flooded his windpipe and reddened his eyes. Yet there he is, staring blankly at the shore. He's in his home base. He holds no hope for forgiveness from his enemies. Not in the slightest. He's a one-man army, fighting only for himself. Alone. Now, do a 360 and look again. He's been utterly defeated.
So 19. Aspect of madness. Dreams are the first and last dance partner of madness.
Dear Earth,
So we're gonna find out what happened to her.
why are you so interested in the panopticon of Kamala? Dear Mr. Aleph, whether as a doctor or a writer, I simply cannot turn a blind eye to the friction around me.
Especially the discord and injustice I have witnessed here in Kamala. So, I would ask of you a question. Is there any way to resolve the endless conflicts in this place?
To put an end to this, a true ending is required. Your arrival has made it possible for this simulation to have an ending, or rather, a victory.
What do you mean by victory? I'd appreciate it if you could clarify in simple terms. If this victory comes at the cost of any inmate's life, I'm afraid I cannot accept it. I also have another question for you. If I leave, will the stories and conflicts here come to an end?
This grace of Manus Vindicte will grant you passage. But in any case, the cycle of history will continue to repeat itself in this prison, and in the entire world. The sins of humankind will not cease until veins turn to wires, flesh and bone to geometric shapes, and the world around us twists in the colors of an oil painting.
I must say, your words have left me rather baffled. Fragments of the events you describe often appear in my dreams. Could it be that these things really happen? If that's the case, why can't I recall the details? Why am I left with only disconnected pieces? Madness in Kamala. These bizarre dreams. I must put an end to them. What have I forgotten? Has someone or something altered my memory? I can't shake the feeling that something crucial to me has been lost in the river of time. Some kind of duty, perhaps. What should I do? How can I recapture what I have lost?
I won't answer a question that already has an answer, one given to you by the person who escorted you here and made you a promise. You're so close to the place where the truth lies. Think carefully. Why are you here?
These letters we found have answered a great deal. But there's still something that isn't clear. Mr. Aleph, what exactly did the Manus promise Dr. Doras?
an era. A chance for her to remember her duty.
An era? You helped her leave the Panopticon in the end. Where did she go?
Southward. There, the no man's continent, Manus Vindictae is preparing to recreate the parable of the past and future. A glorious past and a glimmering future belonging to Arcanus. Dr. Doris is deeply connected to this particular parable.
What exactly are the Manus planning to do in Antarctica? And why would Dr. Doris go there voluntarily?
The information reveals stir unease in the hearts of the investigators from the Foundation.
Mr. Aleph, when did Dr. Doris depart?
It was a day when both the clouds and sun were visible.
A day when both the clouds and sun were visible. Could you be more specific?
Specific? You mean the time of day?
His mind long ago lost any sense of time, a necessary exchange to make room for the infinite cosmos of words. He once again finds himself without an answer.
When both clouds and the sun were visible. Hey, Vertin, I think I know. It was 3 days ago. Then Dr. Doris wasn't going to Comala on the day I met her. She was leaving. She was headed to Antarctica. It was cloudy that afternoon, with a brief spell of sunshine, just like Aleph described.
Then it hasn't been long since she left. Excellent news.
3 days. If we set off immediately, we might still catch up to her. But, based on the intel we gathered in Ushuaia, Manus Vindictae bombed the entire port 3 days ago. Clearly, they wanted to prevent any interference from the Foundation. It's unlikely we'll find any functioning ships there. I'll report the situation to the Buenos Aires branch. Timekeeper, I'm afraid we'll have to find another way to get there.
I have a boat.
You have a boat from prison? A small boat gifted by man. Oh. Okay, I see. During the past several storms, he has taken this boat, traveling to Antarctica and Manus' invitation to invade the reversion.
The situation's urgent, Mr. Aleph.
Beneath the descriptive lighthouse, a battered little boat bobs and sinks. Sink with the waves. It is small and fragile, not the kind that seems capable of braving any icy sea.
This boat will automatically take you to McMurdo Port, the landing point Manus Vindictae established by the shores of the Ross Sea.
Zanetta's eyes the boat with skepticism, briefly distrusting this advisor of Mantis Victicus.
This looks like Manus technology. Its arcane energy source is highly unstable. Timekeeper, I suggest we wait for support in Ushuaia.
I don't usually agree with Saneto, but I have to admit, I don't have much confidence that a boat this small can actually make it to Antarctica.
Mr. Aleph, do you know anything about Manus Vindictae's ritual? How far has it progressed?
The ritual could begin at any moment. I believe that's why they left Kamala. Upon departure, one of their members, a woman named Grace, told me they would seal off the scene.
Are we too late?
If you wish to find Doris, you must follow the same path she took.
Foundation branch will arrive soon to evaluate your condition. I hope you'll answer their questions with the same patience you showed us. Thank you. Soneto, let's go.
Yes, Timekeeper.
As always, Sonetta keeps any mission and related queries to herself. The girl preparing to set sail turns to the young writer beside them.
Thank you for your assistance too, Recoleta. Perhaps you'll consider joining the...
A thunderous crash echoes from behind them, the sound of collapsing buildings.
What was that? It came from the panopticon.
To be continued. 20. In the place of my ashes. As day break, the story ends where the ashes rest. In the end, the night is not eternal. It's on fire! Blazing flames reflect in their eyes, just like the name of the island might suggest. A winter night stands sentinel over the great conflagration of every brick of Cabela prison, crumbles and falls.
With Alif's control gone, Kamala is collapsing. The inmates aren't even real criminals, are they? And they're still in there with no clue that they're no longer being watched from the central tower. We have to go tell them. We have to get them to safety.
Yes, we should help them get out, at least until support arrives. But the Manus ritual...
The battered boat swerves as within their sight.
Don't worry. I'll go alone.
Huh?
You should hurry. When this is all over, I'll write to you, my dear friend. During this journey together, our teamwork has been impeccable. So, you can trust me to do this. I'm not doing it just to help you or the organization you represent. I'm doing it because the inmates are my friends.
Okay, I trust you. Take care of yourself, Recoleta.
But if the storm truly is imminent, as Dr. Merlin said, then, Miss Recoleta, you...
Sonata's more familiar than anyone with the Foundation. Exhausted regulation has no ready answer. She knows that in this era, before those Arcanists who remains ignorant of the truth, she must watch her words.
I don't quite understand what the storm is all about, but don't worry. A brand new adventure is the best thing that can happen to a writer. And I doubt it'll surpass the epic adventures we've shared over the past couple of days. I'm going to write everything, including the two of you, into my new novel.
Then I'd like to be the first to read this new novel, if that's alright.
Of course. Listen, I believe literature is like an endless, timeless river. So we'll meet again someday, somewhere. Probably in someone else's story. Who knows?
She takes one last look at her new friends, feeling as longing as if they'd known each other for decades. Then without a backwards glance, the girl sprints back to the burning ruins of the prison.
Adios, mis queridos amigos.
All the prisoners are dancing. All the visitors departs one after another, amidst the distant echoes of singing. The creator of this prison stares into the fire as it burns. The moment holds for a time until a briefless jaguar appears at the dock's edge, staring at the human before her with uncertainty.
Dr. Merlin, you're Dr. Merlin, right? I finally found you. What on earth happened in the central tower? Right after I left, the whole panopticon started collapsing. The tower's in ruin. I've been looking for you everywhere. Please, sir, come with me. It isn't safe.
That won't be necessary. The snow is still falling, yet everything in the labyrinth has already gone up in flames. Fortune, fate, karma. They're nothing but a ridiculous joke. It's over, Jaguar. You have lost your memories, your identity, your name, and now your title. You are no longer a jailer trapped in the Panopticon.
I don't get it, Dr. Merlin. What are you talking about?
The jailer takes a step back. Her predator instinct is sensing the danger in the world to come. The damage may not be physical, but it threatens to shatter what little faith she has left to hold on to, and the life she has been always known.
I'm going back to Komala. Order must be maintained. The prisoners mustn't be allowed to escape. Please take care, Dr. Merlin.
Nerves torn between panic and hesitation, the jailer at last turns towards the searing flames.
Hey, you! Don't run off like that. It's dangerous.
No one heeds her cry. One prisoner after another flees in terror, escaping the trembling labyrinth. The jailer drifts through the raging scene, unable to steer a sensible course. At last, she pins down a frail and powerless prisoner beneath her weight.
Stop! Get off me! Let me go! Are you blind? The panopticon is falling apart!
It's you, Roberta.
The jailer recognized the prisoner under her grip. Roberta, a kind and quiet prisoner, always well behaved, now panicked and desperate to escape.
They are all mad! I knew it! They've been insane from the start! The whole place is burning to the ground and they still want to leave! They're still talking and talking about things that no one cares about! I can't help them! I never understood what they were talking about! The rhythms, the factions, the ideologies. Yes, the people were nice. The idealists too, but I've had enough of this prison. I've had enough of the panopticon.
She collapsed on the ground, sobbing.
should have joined these movements. It was all meaningless from the beginning. I want to leave this place. Go to Spain or France. Anywhere but here. I want to go back to Magdalena.
The jaguar releases her grips. Without a backwards glance, Roberta leaves. The jailer steps back in the circular structure she knows as her only home. Under the night sky, she sees Camilla Prison glowing like a brilliant bonfire. Oh, does that like remind you of
How does literature make you feel?
the thing that happened to the island, the Number Island, where they got attacked and everybody was just so I don't know, some people were like just eating and dancing.
As though I'm a kid looking through a kaleidoscope for the first time. Well, maybe that's not the best way to put it. Perhaps something a little more subtle.
The young writer drowns in the vortex of words as the blind woman walks away. She walks slowly towards Camilla Prison, arriving at the dock hidden beneath cliffs and reefs. There, the prisoner who answers all questions await her arrival.
A ship sailing to an unfamiliar land. A parable of the past and future. An era that once existed and is yet to come. Is this the answer you've provided, Mr. Aleph?
No, Erd. You will have to find this answer yourself. No one can help you with this. No one.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Aleph. I will remember what you've told me.
Worlds in the old instead. All men are dancers and their treads. This is a riddle. Goes to the barbarous cure of a gong. W.B. Yeats, 1919. And that's the end of the event. Secret meeting. In 1991, information moves at lightning speed thanks to the technological advancement. Santos, why are you here? The Admiral sent me to deliver the latest update. Ha! I think Igor has misunderstood something. Just because we're both here doesn't mean the Apostle, Brotherhood, and Xeno are obliged to work together. Mr. Santos, you know the preacher said it before. Each and every one of us is their subject. Why don't you just tell me where Igor really sent you here for? Xeno intelligence officer intercepts a message from the Foundation Bureau, Buenos Aires branch. How typical of Xeno to do something like that. The message states that the fleet of the Foundation, including a battleship and a destroyer, has departed from the north and is heading south. So you're telling me those green and white checkers are always actually sending a fleet? The general wants you to speed up the transport of the personnel and supplies, and to weaken the manpower of the Foundation's Buenos Aires branch as much as possible. Let me make this perfectly clear. I do not answer to him. But for the preacher, and for them, I will fulfill my duty. Tell your Admiral that he doesn't need to worry about anything else. We prepare a proper welcome for the Foundation feeble little fleet. Understood. Alright, we completed the whole thing.